Hi folks, welcome back to Project Dark Wolf. This is a quick video showing the symbolism and themes behind Visions on Silent Mountain. The painting was used in episode 4, Wolf Predation on Humans, so you might remember it from that. Now this was split into 3 sections. We have the skull in the middle and the 2 frames on either side. So starting with the skull, this is obviously a grey wolf, Canis lupus lupus. Now this was painted from a 1:1 scale cast of an original skull, which I have here, and this isn't representative of death. This is actually to show the wolf from an objective or a scientific standpoint, since the skull reveals a lot about the nature of the animal. So I'm not an expert on morphology, but it's obvious that the elongated canines, forward-facing eyes are heavily indicative of this being a predatory species. So showing the skull in the centre is basically a way of showing an understanding of the wolf and its place in the ecosystem. That's also shown by having the skull essentially flat against the mountain, or kind of a part of the mountain in this case. So the frame on the left here, this is the first of the more emotional viewpoints. This is the very anti-wolf sentiment. Now in this case the frame has been broken, so there's no reflection of the skull, hence the wolf is removed from the ecosystem, the idea of it having been exterminated. Now obviously there are severe consequences from removing an apex predator, and the knock-on effects are a little bit too difficult to show in a painting like this. So that's been summarised with the tree, which is healthy on the left, being very sick, very dead in the centre of the frame here, showing the effects on the immediate ecosystem, and the mountain behind it, which I'll get to later, having been pixelated, being at a lower resolution. So the mirror on the far right here is showing the extreme opposite. This is the heavily romanticised version of the wolf, the benevolent or harmless animal, as it were. So what's important to note about this is that although it looks a lot more fluffy and happy than the other 2 viewpoints, the background, the cloudscape in the background here is covering the eye. Now the eyes of the animal are still key to communication. Wolves rely heavily on body language and facial expressions to convey their disposition. So not being able to see the eyes means that we're really lacking a understanding of the animal here. The background is what's linking this painting together. This is the Silent Mountain from the title. We have the wolf skull in the middle being embedded into it, and the 2 mirrors on either side being visions, the consequences of what can happen with vilifying or romanticising the wolf. So overall this painting shows the importance of recognising the wolf, and for that matter any animal, from an objective standpoint, recognising it as an important part of the ecosystem and showing that it has a very key role to play within it. And the reason that the title is Visions on the Silent Mountain, well, I've already described the visions part of it. The silent part, the silent mountain as it were, is represented by the wolf skull within the mountain, and this is basically a way of showing how the wolf or any other animal has no means to speak for itself or to defend itself, and that is essentially what this painting is trying to do. This is trying to demonstrate the role of the wolf within its habitat and the importance of it, since the animal is incapable of doing so itself. So this wasn't exactly the easiest painting I've done to try and explain as my first video on this, but if you're still watching it now, then hopefully you like the painting, and hopefully you like the idea of wolf conservation, and so you can help support that in the real world by heading on over to projectdarkwolf.org. The original painting at this time and prints of it are available there, and any purchases you make there will go directly to support wolf conservation and research in the UK and in America. You can find more about the project on Facebook, Twitter, all that. Just type in Project Dark Wolf, you'll find it easy enough. But until then, thanks for watching. I hope you found this at least interesting, and I'll see you in the next video.